morning, trainees. Welcome to Zamboanga del Sur Provincial Government College, the Avenue of Our Training. This is a TESDA accredited training center. So, by the way, I am Lorelai Gandawan Lacanilao. I will be your trainer for this training program. So, before we go on a proper orientation, please stand up for the prayer. Amen. So please take your seat. Now let's check your attendance. Please say here when I call your name and submit to me your information registration form. Miss Melka Hulinis. Here. Miss Reseline Luminis. Here. And your admission form. Thank you. So now let's go to the proper orientation for competency-based training for nail care and C2. So let's start with competency-based training or the CBT. So now let's start with competency-based training or the CBT. So these are the 10 principles of CBT. So first one, our first principle is clear and specific learning outcomes. Define clear, measurable learning outcomes. Align competency with real-world tasks and job requirements. Ensure learners understand the skills they must achieve. So the second principle is learner-centered. Design training around the learner's needs, abilities, and pace. Allow progression based on mastery of competencies. Focus on individualized learning rather than a fixed timeline. So third principle, assessment of competence. Evaluate learners through practical real-world tasks. Assess ability to perform skills rather than relying on memorization. Provide feedback based on actual performance. So, number 4 principle, mastery learning. Learners must fully master one competency base before progressing. Provide support and opportunities for learners who struggle. Revisit material to ensure proficiency before moving forward. So number 5, flexibility in learning. Allow flexibility in when, where, and how learning occurs. Accommodate different learning styles and schedules. Let learners progress at your own pace. So, number 6 principle, active learning and practice. Emphasize hands-on learning through simulations, role plays, and real-world tasks. Encourage engagement and practical application of competencies. Help learners build confidence in performing skills in authentic settings. Number 7, individual support. Provide for personalized feedback, coaching, and mentorship. Support each learner's progress and challenges. Ensure learners have the resources they need to succeed. Number 8, workplace relevance. Align training with the real-world workplace and job requirements. Equip learners with skills that directly apply to their job roles. So, number 9, recognition of prior learning. So, acknowledge learners' existing skills and knowledge. Allow learners to demonstrate proficiency in previously mastered competencies. Avoid unnecessary repetition for learners with prior experience. So, last principles, continuous improvement. Foster an environment of ongoing assessment and feedback. Encourage learners to reflect on their progress and refine their skills. Support continuous development to adapt to evolving industry standards. So, let's proceed to role as trainer. So, first is facilitator. Facilitator guide and mentor the learning process, ensuring trainees grasp concept effectively. So, the subject matter is, or the SME, possess in-depth knowledge in the area being taught. So in number 3, planner design training sessions create content and establish learning objectives. So the fourth one is the communicator. Convey ideas clearly, adapt to the audience, and ensure engagement. So number 5 is evaluator. Assess the progress of trainees and provide constructive feedback. So number 6 is motivator. Inspire and encourage trainees to actively participate and achieve goals. So the qualification for a trainer is expression in the subject, expertise in the subject or skill being taught. Some strong communication and interpersonal skills, relevant certifications or qualification in the field, training certifications like the trainer or instructional design, patience, adaptability, and the ability to motivate others. So, role as a trainee. So, the first one is learner. Actively engage in the learning process to acquire new skills or knowledge. So, the second one is participant. Collaborate with trainers and peers during activities and discussions. Then third is observer. Observe practical knowledge from demonstrations or real-world scenarios. So, the fourth one is implementer. Apply learned concepts in tasks, simulations, or real-life situations. So number 5, feedback provider. Share insights or challenges faced to improve training effectiveness. So the qualification for a trainee is first, willingness to learn and grow. Basic prerequisites depending on the training. Like example, prior knowledge or skills. And ability to follow instructions and ask questions for clarification. Commitment to complete the training program successfully. So that's all for the principles and the roles of the trainers and trainees. So in this training, we will be using the CBLM or the competency-based training material. So it has information sheets that contains learning activities, self-checks, and immediate assessment or understanding based on what you have read in the information sheet. So it has also answered key and immediate feedback of your self-check. It has operation sheet, task, or job sheet to practice your skill and performance criteria. Checklist which will be used to assess or evaluate your performance. So we have also monitoring tools. The progress chart. The progress chart and achievement chart. So the progress chart, this chart is a monitor of the learning outcomes and competencies achieved by the trainee. It is displayed on a place within training area frequented by the trainees. And the achievement chart, this chart is a monitor of the required project and the activities usually in the job of the CBLM. So, in evaluation, assessment is based in the collection of evidence of the performance of work to the industry required standard, and there will be a result of assessment, competent and not yet competent. So, this is our workshop layout. Kindly get your pen and paper. I will tour you to our workshop. So this is our first area, the contextual learning area. So in this area, where students can learn through real-world scenarios and activities. So the second area is the learning resource area. So in this area, this area provides the learner with the knowledge requirement in various modules, responding to the competencies. So, the third area is the quality control area. In this area, various tests, aside from the methodology and calibration, are conducted this area in process quality control. So, the fourth area is the support service area. So, in this area, provides value-adding competencies. And the fifth one, is the practical work area. In this area, where the learner acquires the skills and knowledge components of the competencies prescribed by the standard. The last area is found here. Institutional assessment. This area is where the recognition of the prior learning is done and where the institutional of its competency. So let's go back to the contextual learning area. Do you have any questions or clarification? So if none, I will now administer the pre-assessment. I have here the self-assessment checklist and data gathering tool for trainees' characteristics will help me to determine your background experiences and your knowledge, and of course, this self-assessment checklist will also help me determine your current competencies that is relevant with this qualification so that the training will be personalized according to your needs. So I will give you 2 minutes to accomplish the forms. Please read the instructions carefully. So you may start. Okay, are you done? Thank you. So now I will administer the pre-test. This is a 15-item test. You are given 15 minutes to finish this test. Okay, thank you. Okay, trainees, you may take your 1-hour break. So, welcome back, trainees. How is your break? Did you enjoy your snack? I have here the result of your pre-assessment, and based from the evidences I gathered, it seems that you, Miss Resalyn Lumilis, has a prior learning of this qualification, but still in need to validate it. Please submit to me your evidence tomorrow. Would you like to recognize your prior learning?
Yes.
Miss Melka Huminis, based on the result of your pre-assessment, you do not have yet knowledge on this qualification, so I advise you to start on unit of competency 1, which is the hygiene and sanitation. Okay, trainees? Please be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock and bring your materials and equipment. Please stand for the prayer. Amen. So, goodbye and see you tomorrow. Good morning, trainees. Please stand up for the prayer. Amen. Please be seated. So, let's check your attendance. Please say here if I call your name. Miss Melka Huminis.
Here.
Miss Resalyn Lumilis.
Here.
Okay. Thank you. To those who have prior learning, please submit to me your evidence. Okay, thank you, Miss Resalyn. It says here that you have 3 years work experience at La Maha Hotel. Would you like now to take the institutional assessment? Yes. I have here your training activity matrix. This will be your guide throughout the training process. For today, Ms. Resalyn, you will be assigned an institutional assessment to validate your prior learning. Here. And Ms. Milka, you will be here in contextual learning area. Because you do not have yet knowledge in this qualification, so I advise you to start with the first competency, which is hygiene and sanitation. So Ms. Milka, here is the CBLM. Please read all the information sheet starting from 1 Answer the self-check, compare your answer to the answer key, practice the skill using the task sheet and job sheet for practical work. Station number 1 and evaluate your performance criteria checklist. If you have any question, do not hesitate to ask me. I am willing to help to assist you in need. Hello, Miss Rosaline. Are you ready to take the institutional assessment for the validation of your prior learning? So, Miss Rosaline, given this necessary tool, materials and equipment, you should be able to perform the proper nail care with allotted time 1 hour. So, right after the demonstration, please prepare for the oral questioning. Your time is up, Miss Rosaline. Take 10 minutes break for the oral questioning. Are you ready for oral questioning, Miss Rosaline?
Yes.
So, first question is, can you explain the importance of a proper sanitation in nail care?
Sanitation is essential to prevent infections. I'd start by washing my hands thoroughly, disinfecting all my tools, and clean the work surface with a disinfectant.
Okay, excellent. So, question number 2 is, I observed earlier that you're pushing back the cuticles. Can you describe the technique you're using and why it is important to be gentle?
I'm using a cuticle pusher to gently push back the cuticles. It's important to be gentle to avoid damaging the nail, matrix, and causing it infection.
Okay, good. So, last question is, what are some signs of infection you should look out for?
Redness, swelling, pain, or pus.
Thank you so much, Miss Rosaline. So, Miss Rosaline, based on the evidences I gathered, you were able to perform the proper nail care. With that, I congratulate you. You are competent in 5 units of competency. So, I will now award the certificate of achievement in the unit of competency. So, I will now update the achievement chart and progress chart to monitor your progress. So, thank you. Miss Milka, you are ready now for the institutional assessment?
Yes.
So, you may take your 10 minutes break and be ready for your institutional assessment. Okay, Miss Milka, let's proceed to institutional assessment. So, Miss Milka, given this necessary tools, equipment, and materials, you should be able to perform the hygiene and sanitation with allotted time 1 hour. So, right after the demonstration, please prepare for the oral questioning. Okay, your time is up, Miss Milka. Take 10 minutes break for the oral questioning. So, are you ready, Miss Milka, for the oral questioning?
Yes.
So, you may take your seat. So, Miss Milka, I have here 3 questions. So, first question is, why hygiene is so crucial in nail care?
Hygiene is essential to prevent the spread of infections and diseases. Poor hygiene can lead to things like bacteria and fungi growing on the nails or tools, which can cause infections in the client or the technician.
Okay, thank you. So, question number 2, can you give me some examples of how poor hygiene can affect the client?
A client could get a bacteria infection, a fungi infection, or even a skin irritation from contaminated tools or products.
Okay, thank you. So, last question. What are the recommended methods for sterilizing nail care tools?
The most common methods are using an autoclave, which uses high pressure and steam, or using an ultraviolet light sterilizer.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Milka. So, Miss Milka, based on the evidences I gathered, you will be able to perform proper hygiene and sanitation. With that, I congratulate you. You are competent in the unit of Competency 1. So I will now update the achievement chart and progress chart to monitor your progress. So I will now administer the post-test. It's a 30 items test. You are given 30 minutes to finish the test. Yeah. So read the instructions carefully. Are you done? Pass your paper. So thank you. So please give me a moment to check your paper, and while waiting for the result of your post-test, may I ask our Ms. Rosalyn to answer this? Okay, thank you, Ms. Rosalyn. Ms. Rosalyn, based on the result of your post-test, you get 29 out of 30. You improve a lot with that. I congratulate you already completed the training of the entire qualification. I will now awarding the certificate of accomplishment. I advise you to go to the nearest assessment center and schedule your national assessment at your most convenient time. So thank you for all. That's for all today, and see you tomorrow. To the other trainees will undergo the same process. Thank you.